Welcome to the Yealink T77U phone video tutorial. Please see the Preferred Data Voice Network's phone user guide for the Yealink SIP-T77U for more information. The Yealink T77U model phone has a 7-inch touchscreen display that can be programmed with up to 84 buttons. To see the buttons, press the expansion button on your display, and then you can use your finger to slide to view all of the buttons. You can do this anytime, whether your phone is idle or if you're on a call. Tap the X to close, and then you can tap this other button to close the view completely, and then tap again to view. The buttons are typically programmed with extension buttons, part keys, and the number may vary depending on your system programming, and then speed dial or people buttons. When the phone is idle, soft keys will show history, directory, do not disturb, or you might have a page key there, and menu. When you tap the history button, you can view all of the calls made or received from your phone. And then you can also see, just broken down by missed calls, calls that rang to your phone that were not answered, placed calls, calls that you made out, received calls, calls that were made to your phone and were answered, and forwarded calls. If your phone were forwarded to another number, then you can actually view the calls that came in and then were forwarded to that offsite number or extension. The directory that is available to you, if you press directory and then company directory, you can view the extensions on your system. And you can use that also. There's also a block list here. Block list is going to allow you to block a number from ringing to your phone. However, the system settings has a system-wide blacklist that you can put in any numbers that would be blocked from the entire system. So if you just put them on your phone, they'll be blocked on your phone only. If you put them in at the system level, they'll be blocked on every phone. D&D stands for Do Not Disturb, and it is a toggle. So if you tap it, then you'll see D&D mode is enabled, and then you'll see on your top right a Do Not Disturb notification. If your phone is in Do Not Disturb mode, then all calls transferred to your phone or anyone that calls your direct dial number will go straight to your failover source, which is typically a voicemail or might be another number or a ring group. If your phone is in a ring mode and you're in a Do Not Disturb mode, then your phone will not ring, but the other extensions will continue to ring. You just won't have an audible ring. And then to exit Do Not Disturb, you can tap exit there, or you can just tap the D&D button again. Menu is used for certain features or settings on your phone. One of the most common requests that we get is how to adjust the ringtone. So if you tap menu, and then you can tap basic, and then sound, and then on the top ringtones, and then common, and then you can use your finger to select a ringtone, listen to it, and if you like it, you can tap save. Otherwise, I'm going to tap home to return to the home view, and I haven't changed the ringtone. Built-in buttons on your phone are a hold button, which looks like a pause, a transfer button, a voicemail button, volume controls. Volume controls are going to control whatever you're using at the time. So if you're on speaker, it will adjust the speaker volume. If you go to the handset, it will adjust the handset volume. And then if your phone is idle, it will adjust the ring volume. And then moving on with the buttons, you've got a headset button. The headset button is used for certain wired headsets. There's also going to be a USB plug that you can use for headsets with this phone. You have a mute button, which looks like a microphone with a line through it. You have an enhanced redial button. The way you use this is if you tap it once, it's going to pull up all of the placed calls or calls that you've made out, and then you can use your finger to scroll and then tap to dial. Or if you want to just dial the number that you most recently called, then you can press it twice, and it's more like a traditional redial button. So if you tap that, it will go straight to the number that you most recently called. And lastly, there is a speaker button on the bottom right. To make a call out, you're going to simply start dialing the number. If it's 7 digits, then you don't, or if it's a local number, you don't need to dial the area code. You just dial the number and then press the green handset, and you can tap this delete to go back if you messed up or misdialed. If you dial a 10-digit number, then the system realizes that you put in enough digits to make a call, so it's going to time out and start dialing. Once you're on a call, you'll notice that the soft keys along the bottom of the phone have changed, and there are 3 of them that are actually duplicated as built-in buttons. Mute, which is here, hold, which is here, and transfer, which is here. When you're on a call, you can pick up the handset to go to handset, and then if you're on the handset mode, to go back to speaker, you tap the speaker button and place the handset in cradle. Across the bottom, if you tap conference, you can make a conference call, which I'll demo in just a second. Mute, if you tap mute, then you can mute yourself to the caller. You'll see a notification on your screen that you're muted. And this is not the same as hold. You're still on an active call and you can hear the caller, they just cannot hear you. So this is a great tool for if you are on a webinar or on hold. And you can mute yourself on both speaker and handset. To unmute yourself, you're going to just tap that button again, either one of them. Hold is pretty obvious. You're going to tap the hold key here or here to place the call on hold. Your caller will hear the music on hold that's associated with your phone system. And then you can resume the call by tapping hold again or resume here. A held call can only be retrieved at the phone that it was placed on hold. So if you want to share a call with someone else within your organization, a great way to do that is to park it. So you can use one of these available park orbits, and if there are more, or if you want to see more buttons, you can tap this to expand to see your buttons. So I'm going to place the phone in park 1. So now I've placed this call in parking slot 1, and I can retrieve it by going to any phone on the system and leaving the handset in place and not pressing any other buttons. I just tap park 1 and I've retrieved that call. So it's a way to share calls across the organization. You'll see that the number that I called out is showing on the screen, and that's the same as if it had been an inbound call. The inbound caller ID follows the park. And so what you can do is tap park to place the call in an available park orbit. It has to be green. And then you can tell someone in your organization that they have a call on park 1. So then they can go to any phone and tap park 1, or you can use it for yourself to retrieve a call somewhere else on your phone system. To transfer to somebody else on the phone system, if you have a button for them, you can just tap their button and it will automatically transfer to their phone. It's a blind transfer. They will see the caller ID and can opt to take the call or let it go to their failover destination. And if they're not there, obviously we'll go to their failover destination, typically voicemail. You can see that I pulled it back by tapping the blinking red icon next to that person. So if you accidentally transfer to somebody and you have a button for them, you can tap it again to pull it back to your phone. And then to transfer to someone that if you didn't have a button for them, you can tap transfer or transfer, dial their extension, and then tap the green handset button to send, and it does the same thing. It's just doing a transfer. So I'm pulling that call back. If you would like to make a second call while you're on a call, then you can either tap an available extension button here, and this is my demo so that it usually would not have the model number there, but or you can actually tap more and then new call does the same thing. And then you can call that second person. In this case, I'm dialing an extension. Okay. Wait for them to answer. And then you can have your conversation, finish that, and then you can go back to your original call by tapping resume. When your phone is ringing, across the bottom of the screen, you'll see answer, forward, silence, and reject. You'll see the inbound caller information. You can tap answer, pick up the handset, or press speaker to answer the call. Or if you do forward, you can tap forward, enter the extension number you want to send the call to, and then you're off of the call completely. It's kind of a rare option. Silence means that the call will continue to ring and then eventually go to voicemail, just won't ring your phone. And then reject, the call will immediately go to voicemail. So if you've missed a call that's rung at your phone, you'll receive a notification, which is a blinking light, a missed call icon on the top right, and then a reminder on your screen that says however many missed calls, and you can tap exit or view. If you tap exit, then it's going to continue to blink until you've been notified. And so the easiest way to clear that, if you've tapped exit, is just to tap your history so you can see the call information and then it goes away. Or if you tap view, it will go away. If you're on a call and you receive a second call coming in, you'll receive a blinking light here and the incoming call data here, and you'll hear a beep. So you can tap the green handset to answer. And once you do that and you've got 2 active calls on your phone, then you can view your calls here just by tapping that, and then you can use your touch screen to select which call you want to handle and manage. So I'm on this call as an active call, and this other call, sorry, they're both the same phone number, but I can tap it and then I can tap to resume. And if I resume the second call, then the first call automatically goes on hold. I can also tap merge to make a conference call and then select the 2 calls and tap merge again. And now we're on a conference call. And Yealink handles these conference calls quite beautifully with the manage option. So once I'm on a conference call, I can tap manage to view the outside users who are on the call. And then obviously they would normally have different phone numbers, but you can select which one you want to manage, and then you can mute, place on hold, or remove that call from your conference call. So here I can mute myself to the caller by tapping mute and they cannot hear me. But I can also control my outside users. So if I mute them both, then I'm the only one that can be heard on this call and they're both muted. And then I can also place one on hold and talk to the other one, vice versa, or I can actually remove one from the call. And then I can tap split, which would divide them back into 2 separate calls and take them out of the conference call status. And if I tap end call, I will end the call for all participants on the conference call. If you need to have a conference call with more than 3 participants, use the conference bridge and PIN provided by your administrator. To call another extension from your phone, you can use the quick dial buttons here. So just tap to call and it will ring and wait for them to answer. Or you can dial a code to come across the speakerphone. So in this case, the code is going to be *0 and the extension. And then if you're calling their phone, you would call direct to their speaker if they're available and not on a call, and it would be a 2-way conversation, which is hands-free on their end. There is a mobile phone and desktop phone app available on this system. The apps will allow you to make or receive calls showing the company phone number. So if you dial out using the mobile app on your cell phone, you can show your main company or direct dial number, however it's programmed. And you can also set it to ring your mobile app for calls that come to your extension or come to your direct dial number. However, some users prefer to call forward their calls to a cell phone, and that's available to you as well. So call forwarding the phone is, you would do that by pressing menu and then features. And then as the first option, call forward, you can choose always busy or no answer. The most common would be probably no answer. Always is going to send immediate. So if you want to set it up to never ring your desk phone, you can do that. Or if you select no answer, you can put, so what you're going to do is toggle it on, and then you're going to enter your either your cell phone number. You can use another extension if you'd like, but you're going to enter it with the area code and number. You can select the time that you want it to ring this desk phone before it goes to your cell phone, and then tap save. So I'm going to turn that off. But then if your phone is forwarded, you'll see an icon on the top right indicating that your phone is forwarded. And then to unforward it, you can do the same thing. Menu, features, call forward's already up. Whichever one is on, you select it, toggle to off, and tap save. To set up voicemail for the first time, you're going to touch the voicemail button.
Welcome to your mailbox. Together we will personalize the settings. Let's start by setting your password. Please enter your new password, then press pound. To confirm, please enter your new password. Thank you. Your new password has been saved. Now let's record the greeting that callers will hear when they reach your mailbox. At the tone, please say your greeting, then press any key or stop talking to end the recording.
Hi, this is Melissa with Preferred Data Voice Networks. Please leave a message after the tone. Thank you.
To save this recording, press 1. Saved. Congratulations, your mailbox has been configured. If you would like to change any of these settings later, choose option 5 from the mailbox main menu. Mailbox is empty.
Once your mailbox has been set up, you will be notified of new messages either on your phone or email or both. Please let your system administrator or company contact person know if you want to change your voicemail notifications on your phone. If you do have notifications to your phone, you will see the number of new voicemails on your screen, and you can you'll also get the blinking red light, and then you can tap view, connect, or exit. So we're going to tap connect.
Please enter your password, then press pound. You have 1 new message. To your new messages, press 1. Message 1.
Testing 1 2 3 4.
Received Monday, August 10, 2026 at 4:07 p.m. To save, press 1. To replay, press 2. To forward, press 3. To delete, press 7. To delete it. Mailbox.
So I've cleared the voicemail by tapping 7 to delete. You can also forward if you want to forward it to another user or save. You can also, if you just click close out of that notification, you can tap this voicemail button at any time to
Please
call
enter your password,
as well.
then press.
And your system more than likely has a backdoor phone number that you can call into to check voicemail messages. You can check voicemail messages from any of the mobile or desktop apps. If you have voicemail sent to email, they will come from voicemail@pdvn.net. You will need to open the attachment to listen to the voicemail. It will be a WAV file. You may need to add or set up an audio player on your PC or mobile phone to listen. And you can tap the phone number on your mobile phone to call the person back. It's going to show the phone number that called in and left the messages. To change your password, greeting, or name recording in your mailbox, tap the voicemail button on your phone, enter your password, and then tap 5 to manage your mailbox, and then follow the prompts. This concludes the tutorial for the Yealink T77U phone. Thank you for your time. I hope it was helpful. Have a great day.